Now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We should be live in the next few seconds. All right, I believe we're live.
Perfect.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the PitchGround Webinar. It's episode 9 of the PitchGround Webinar. Welcome, guys. We are so excited. I'm sitting here, I guess, with Aaron Boss from PitchGround. I'm so excited today for what we're going to be chatting about. Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? And how is everybody else doing today?
Doing good. Hey, guys. See, we got 7 viewers already. We're going to be monitoring the comments, so go ahead and leave some comments beyond. Let us know how you're doing today. And we're going to start. Hey, how you doing, Somya? Hope everything's going well. We are just going to be answering some questions today. And we're going to be talking fundamentally today about something that we believe is very important, something I think that everyone is it's kind of the elephant in the room. It's kind of the thing that, most people don't chat about. I know that today we're not really joined by Judith. It's because he's kind of under the weather. I think he'll be in the comments. You know him. He never stops working. But that's a good thing. But I think today he's kind of feeling it. I don't know if it's winter over there or summer over there. I know it's winter over here, so who knows? But I think either way, Judith would have loved to have been here, and we will see what happens here moving forward. I think, like I said, we're talking about the elephant in the room today. So I think the big thing that we're going to jump into today is how to leverage your lifetime deals to actually build a funnel. So we're going to be talking about, the last few things that the last few products that you've had a chance to be a part of, and how it actually translates into you using those as lifetime deals. I know, Aaron, you were able to talk to me about this when we first met. I know, you were talking to me about how you were running the lifetime deals group, right? And you were having, a lot of people just talk about how they were buying these deals, but how they weren't actually picking up and using them. They were like, oh, I'm going to need that one day. Oh, I'm going to need that one day. Oh, I'm going to need that one day. Just buying lifetime deal after
for the projects.
I've been speaking with customers more and more who just tell me, like, I haven't really gotten my, like with MarketPlan IO, I haven't really gotten my MarketPlan IO credits for, I haven't really signed in. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, because I'm waiting for the day when I use this product. I'm waiting for that day. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, I think today is the day. Like, now's the time. You should start using it now, because you're never going to have a business until you start putting these tools together. And that's the reason why we love offering these lifetime deals here on PitchGround, is because we want to see you make not only just basic funnels, but even to advanced funnels with these lifetime deals. And so we're going to talk about how to do that. How do you actually start? Like, you've got all these tools that you've now got in your arsenal. Well, how do you actually start? Like, what's the first thing you should focus on? What's the first thing? What's the last thing? What's the next thing? We're going to kind of go through a little bit of a process and kind of go through that today. So, Aaron, I don't know if you want to talk through that and about lifetime deals, as far as like having been like an admin of a lifetime deal group. Maybe you can just talk to that a bit.
Well, one of the biggest things is exactly like you said. Run into that all the time where they'll buy something. It's for the next project. I always hear that. It's for the next project. Well, I'm not going to use it right this second, but one of these days. And exactly like you said, people will put these on their shelf, call them shelfware, basically, never use them, never touch them. They always have the intentions to. So, and one of the main reasons why we built PitchGround, obviously, was so that we can help people to use those deals that they're actually purchasing. We want you to use that to build up your business. Don't let it sit there, because there's generally a reason why it's sitting there. And what I generally find is it's not so much the time, kind of, sort of, but it's really more than anything, just they don't know how to implement it into their actual strategy, their business strategy.
Right. And that's I think the fundamental piece is like, you buy these things because they're very valuable. You have that thing inside you that says, man, like I'm gonna need to have Customerly. Like I'm gonna have to have MarketPlan. I'm gonna have SendPilot. I'm gonna have Funnel Builder, or I'm going to have this lifetime deal, or any of the lifetime deals that are being offered, even on other networks. You're looking and you're saying, "Ooh, I need that. I need that for social media. I need that for this. I need that." But it's like almost like, what's going to make it actually happen? What's going to push you to that place of actually doing it? And today, what we hope to do is inspire you to be able to just pull the trigger and say, "I'm doing it." I'm doing it. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, how do you pull the trigger on your lifetime deals and instantly implement? I see Melissa's on this, and I know she's been I've really loved seeing how she has gone ahead and done this, because it's amazing. Like every tool picked up from PitchGround, she's instantly implemented into her business, and she's just a great example. Hey, Melissa, how are you doing? She's an amazing example of someone who doesn't let it sit, but just says, "I'm going to put this in the deal right now." And that's what I think we should start seeing with lifetime deals. Like, honestly, I would venture to say that it's not really worth your time or your money if you're not going to instantly implement. And I'll tell you why. Because there's always new tools. There's always things that you're going to go through. And if you're not going to buy, then you have to realize one day when you are going to buy that you probably don't necessarily need a plethora of tools. The more tools you have, let's just talk about this for a second, Aaron. I don't know if you can talk to this a little bit, but the more tools that you have, the more complicated it'll be for you to find a starting point. That's what I believe. I don't know if you believe that same philosophy.
Totally agree, 100%, because you just get so much stuff under there, it just starts becoming overwhelming. Where do I start? Well, let me think about it, Well, that day never really comes to, it seems to build up over time, honestly. And I'm totally 100% guilty. I've bought, and I have a whole bunch of LTDs I've bought in the past, and they're still sitting there. I haven't touched them. I try to do as many as I can, but I always have an excuse. I can always find an excuse. I'm perfect at doing that. So I am 100% guilty with that.
Yeah, and for us, I'll tell you right now, we've bought. That's the reason why Aaron and I originally connected, is because we've bought so many lifetime deals, like ConversionFly. We have built the business off of a lot of the LTDs. Now, granted, we do have some monthly memberships that you just can't. If you're going to run a business, there are some things that you're just going to have to run off of a monthly scale. And I'll tell you that right now, not because we're trying to prepare you for something like that, but mostly because we're trying to get people to understand that to do business, it would be great if you could just run it off an LTD. Everything's LTD, zero cost, and you could just run it. But if you're really going to be able to answer the demands of your industry, you're going to find at one point that there are tools that you're going to need, that you're going to have to leverage to make the money. And so, just remember, it takes money to make money. And so you've got to be able to know what's a wise investment, especially when you're coming across an LTD, because a lot of times with the LTDs, you're trying to figure out, is this the right fit for me? Not only is this yeah, sure, let me just buy it because it's a one-time thing, but is it the right fit for me? And I think that's the biggest part that we have to try to get to is it the right fit? And so I think the best place to go to is we need to start talking about compartmentalizing your business into what I call the 4 stages of your business. And I think that when you start to compartmentalize and when you start to put these things into fruition, that you're going to get a better picture of what is actually supposed to happen in that. What is supposed to take place with my business? What is the order of events? What is the strategy behind what I'm doing and how I'm going about building my funnel and how I'm going to execute my funnel? Because really, a funnel is just a way of executing and putting together those tools. I've got chatbots. I've got Facebook Messenger. I've got a customer system. I've got a ticketing system. I've got a sales page. I've got an order page. I've got order form software. I've got a mail system that I'm going to be sending emails to people. I've got all of those things. Now what I'm building is I'm building a funnel that's going to funnel my customers through, leveraging all of these tools. And so I don't know below, maybe below you can just talk about this in the chat. Okay, so Melissa says, I have not been able to do it with everything, but I'm trying to do it one at a time. That's actually an amazing way to go about the process, I believe, is to really get to that point where you say, okay, maybe I can't implement everything, but I can see the vision of it and I can actually know when it's going to be implemented. I think that's a great, thank you for confessing that, Melissa, but I think you have been active. The thing that we've been excited to see is that how active you've been in actually being a doer behind actually buying their lifetime deals and not just kind of sitting on them. And again, sometimes you're out of season with an you can buy a tool for the future and say, yeah, this is for my next project. That's fine. But I think at the end of the day, knowing what the tool can do and leveraging what the tool can do, less is more. Like having the right tools in your arsenal is more. And that's why when we get on PitchGround, you've heard Judith say it oftentimes. If this is really going to help your business, then get it. If not, hey, there's no pressure. Like we're not standing here saying like, buy. Like we're just like, no, we're saying like, listen, what we believe with PitchGround is that we are going to be bringing quality solutions to the table. We're going to be bringing quality solutions to the table that we know you could actually use in your business. And that's the most important thing when it comes to what we believe with our founders. You've seen Reese, you've seen myself, you've seen Judith, you've seen every person, you've seen Luca, you've seen everyone in this group, and we've become this founder first movement that is all about people. So I don't know, like, someone said, Rohit said, actually buy happens, unfortunately. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But yeah, I think, your Oob's got the right idea. Oob says here, you take one and you run with it. I think that's amazing. Yes, that's totally true, Oob. We've got to take one and run with it. Like, I guess that's the question is, how much are you going to implement? This is why we're going to lead into this first phase of your marketing strategy, of your funneling strategy, like how to build a funnel, how to build a successful funnel. I think the first phase, and we know it, and I hate trying to take spot one with a product that we've developed, but it definitely is planning. You definitely want to plan. And whether that planning software is a mind map, whether it's MarketPlan.io, whether it's other software, other planning software, whether it's just a piece of paper that you've written down a conducive plan of what you're going to do, how you're going to execute. I think planning is an essential piece to the process of you moving forward. How do you feel about that, Aaron?
100% perfect and totally guilty of paper. There's nothing wrong with that. Before MarketPlan came along, I definitely used pen and paper without question. Oob, 100% I agree with you. That's my theory as far as even if it's one at a time, learn that one tool. Take the time out to study it, to use it, to implement it, and to understand it to where it's going to help you build your business in the long run. Move on to the next one when you become a master of that tool. Do not, one of the biggest things that and again, I'm guilty of this as well. I try to do too many things at one time. And what I find myself actually doing by trying that way is just learning a little bit of something else. That what I need to do and what I find best for me is just focus on one thing, master it, move to the next, master it, move to the next. That's where you're really going to find that you're going to really grow your business at the end of the day. And 100% MarketPlan is by far the absolute best tool to do that with, without question.
Yeah, and that's the reason why we kind of put MarketPlan as the first deal. When Judith and I discussed what PitchGround, and when Aaron and Judith came to me and said, like, listen, we're starting this thing, it just started to become more and more apparent that, listen, I think the first tool that we should offer on PitchGround is probably the one that they could put all the other tools we're about to offer together with, And that was the thought, was like, man, I wonder if we could create like an organization, like a little shelf for everybody to put everything into a conducive thought process, because we know how it is. I mean, Aaron, coming from being the administrator and the starter of lifetime deals, I mean, literally, like he understood the problems. Like when we were chatting about these things, these were fundamental issues that we were coming up against and saying, man, like this is real. This is a real deal. Like people are buying lifetime deals nonstop from these different sites, from different places, and they're literally just spending money after money after money. And like, I spoke to another customer the other day, and he literally said to me, I would really like you to make a course. If you could just make a course that just like went step by step as to how it can put, he goes, I think he said he had 150 LTDs. I mean, that's insane, right?
And how many of those is he using?
That is 150. And like, listen, I'm not saying that it's not a, like, if you could use 150 tools, like, more power to you, right? But I think that the FOMO has got to stop at some point. And we don't want to be the people that, like, force people to buy hundreds of LTDs. Like, we want to be the people who help you put and craft together. I see Steven here. He says this: the problem is too many tools. I need an app to organize them all and allow a one-click access for the right step, in a funnel. Tools are for emails, ads, graphics, SMS, ebooks, page building, social media posting, blogging, bot creation, etc. I'm using a spreadsheet now, and it sucks. I took the wrong path. And like, Steven, listen, I mean, you're preaching to the choir, man. I think in many ways we all have taken that path. Mm-hmm. I think the idea now is to try to step back and say, how can I become a successful business? How can my business succeed with me leveraging only a few tools? And I'll give you an example of like how I did it. Maybe Aaron can use an example of how he did it. When we started ConversionFly, I inherited the company. I inherited it from a bunch of people who had built businesses before, and they were very familiar with certain platforms. So they had tons of different tools that they used. They used, this for image creation. They used that for this for that, this for that. And I started to inherit the bills of that. So everyone was like, okay, Ty, you're the CEO of ConversionFly now. Now you've got to pay the bills of all these tools. Well, those tools were costing me in monthly fees alone close to $3,000 a month. This was an unprecedented amount of money to be spending per month on a business. I mean, there was a time where my overhead for ConversionFly was $25,000 a month. Okay, that's unreal. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine trying to run a business off of $25,000? And, when we launched ConversionFly, we did a massive launch. It was over $200,000 in launch. It was amazing. We had a lot of money. But like after month 3, I started realizing we are burning cash like you cannot believe. Like, we're not going to make it through the year. Like, I started realizing the reality, oh my gosh, we're not going to make it through the year. And I'm sharing a little bit of this struggle with you, not because I want to tell you like that business is hopeless. I'm telling you it's hopeful. But what I had to start doing immediately was start to look at that $3,000 first. Before I started looking at the team, how I was going to structure the team, I started looking and saying like, okay, I got to structure my tools in a certain way where I'm going to say I don't need all these monthly tools. And we're going to either try to buy, tools. I'll give you an example. One of the tools that I really like that's helped me a lot was, I was using Adobe. I still use Adobe for some things, but when I've seen people that use Adobe Photoshop, they really need Adobe Photoshop, but they don't want to pay that monthly fee. It's like $49 a month. Well, I started hearing about tools like Affinity Designer or Affinity Photo. Those are like $49 one-time deals. They're not only very comparable, in some ways I like Affinity Photo much better than Photoshop. And you can go on Affinity Photo. I think like they're having like 30% off like holiday sale for like, I think it's like $39 or something. But I mean, you can get it from the Mac App Store. You can get it from their actual website or from the Google Play Store, I think it is. But it's like deals like that was what I started looking into and going, we're pulling the trigger on this. We're pulling the trigger on that. And it took a little bit of investing, but I started to back out to the place where now our monthly, bills for our tools are only hundreds of dollars. Like it's probably sitting at almost $500 at max. One of them is the one that we're on right now. We're on Zoom. We use Zoom, and we need Zoom because we've purchased lifetime deals, and they just didn't stand up to the exact opportunity, like the ability to jump on Facebook Live this easy. It doesn't come around a lot, and so I had a choice.
We tried the other versions. Not every LTD is going to be the perfect fit for you.
Right.
I think you're hitting it right, the nail right on the head.
And
You
people were saying, dude, like, big marker. And listen, we invested tons of our cash into big marker. I know you did as well. And listen, we're not bashing them. We're just saying, like, we're on Zoom today. You see a big zoom on the bottom of this video, because we have to choose something that's stable, something that's going to move the business forward. And we're not going to take no as an answer, whether we have to pay for it monthly or whether we're going to push the ball forward. And that's how you've got to resolve in your business. You have to, it's really important that we move forward in the strategy either way. And so you have to come to the place where you're realizing what you're actually leveraging. Are you going to be able to price it so that your first or your second customer is going to help you break even on those monthly deals or on the lifetime deal that you have? Like, let's say, calculate up all the lifetime deals that you've bought, right? Let's calculate them up. How much do you think, Aaron, how much do you feel like you spend?
Oh man, that's a great question. I had to cut back. It was getting up there, actually. Like, embarrassment, probably about a year ago, I was probably at least on a bare minimum. All right, here. Okay. So embarrassment time. So probably around, I would bet at least on a low end, 300 a month, but I mean, probably anywhere from 1,000, 1,500 a month. It's like stacking and everything else,
Just with stacking and stuff. Yeah.
And going right into it, it's like, if I'm spending that much anyways, why am I not just paying monthly on the things that I actually need that are going to, propel me forward and so forth? So it's really hard sometimes to get out of that mindset, as far as, oh, I got to have this. That FOMO, it's real. FOMO is real. You got to have that. You feel like that you got to have that. You get it. And then it doesn't plan out. Either you don't have the time to implement it, something else comes along next time, and you have to get that. The one that you originally got now is nothing. You're never using that. The one you now have is better. It's always better. Right. And, it's a never ending cycle, at the end of the day. And that's one thing that we really wanted to push with PitchGround. If everybody noticed, I'm sure they do. And one of the first things people started asking us was like, well, how many deals? Why aren't you guys bringing more deals on, during the month and stuff? We don't want that. That's exactly what we're trying to get away from. That's exactly what we're trying to help people get away from. One of the biggest factors for us is we use every single tool that we bring on board for everybody. We're using it. We're using it like at least on a month ahead of time. I think we started using MarketPlan, what was it, a few months beforehand, and absolutely just fell in love with it, finding new features with it every day, even during that time. Yeah. So take the time and grab one tool. I don't even care, just one tool. Don't even think about any others. Just today, pick a day, grab that one tool, go in and start learning about it. On our YouTube channel, we always have videos, tutorials on the tools that we're promoting. So there's no excuses. You have zero excuses on why you're not, implementing, why you're not using that tool in your business right now. Make money, grow, scale. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, and I think you definitely, when it comes to planning, this is what I think planning does. Planning says, like, okay, who's on the field? Who's on the field and where can they be? Like, I use American football as an example, because American football helps with understanding, because it's an 11-minute game, right? It takes 11 minutes to run an actual football game, but it takes 4 hours. And the fans are in there and they're like, yeah, come on. And the whole thing is only 11 minutes long. But everyone sticks around because they see the strategy, they see the hike, they see the guys standing around in the huddle. Guys, we're going to do this, blue 42 and all this stuff. What is all that? That is all strategy, and that is all being able to place the right people on the field, and so whether you're working with a team or whether you're working with products, it's the same fundamental idea. It's which products am I going to leverage today? Which products am I going to actually put into place today? What are my plans with putting that in place?
What's the game plan?
How do I put that in place today? And so planning is essential. It's like, okay, this is how we're going to start. So I'll give you an example. The way that we start normally our campaigns is we start with saying, okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do our map. We're going to map everything out. And that right now is MarketPlan.io. But before, I'll be honest with you, we didn't actually have a solution that would work for that. Like we didn't have a solution because most of the other solutions out there, and this is not because they're terrible or anything like that. It's just that we didn't have a way to put the thoughts together. So we started by using like draw.io and some of these other platforms. And I don't, like I said, I don't bash any of these platforms because they're all great for what they do. Like when I've used draw.io, I've used all these different apps. And the thing for me was like, I didn't want to get into a piece of software that I wasn't going to like settle down on. Like I wasn't going to actually build the foundation. Like I needed a foundation app. And that's why I built MarketPlan, because I was like, we've got to build a foundation for ourselves. So now we have a foundation. So every single promo that we run, including the ones that we're about to run, is now being planned on MarketPlan. Everyone comes together, we do a meeting together, and we'll be mapping on a Zoom chat. We'll come together, even if it's just two friends, me and one of my colleagues, or me and Tyler, or even like with Aaron, we've done some things together. We've sat down and just said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to grab this and we'll put this here. Like, okay, we're going to start with a Facebook ad. So, okay, now we need to be able to say, okay, these are the problems. Because once you map it out, you know your problems. Okay, where are my bottlenecks? Where are my problems? Let's say, for instance, I'm running ads. Actually, let's do that right now. I'm going to pull up MarketPlan.io real quick. Oh, I almost pulled up. I love
Oob's comment here. I'd say more member results, not just more deals. I agree, 100%.
That's it. So let me just get in here real quick and just, I'm going to delete this so we can start again. And I'll share my screen. Hopefully everyone can see it. But I'm going to jump in here and we're just going to talk a little bit about how we can leverage all these things. So here we go. So can everybody see my screen? Aaron, tell me if you can.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is just a demo site. So we're going to just build this up real quick. Okay. So let me just make sure in the comments. Can everybody see my screen, guys? Let me just see here.
Hasn't showed up on Facebook yet.
Oh, okay. Can you guys see my screen, guys?
Okay, now it's showing.
Okay, cool. There it is showing. Okay, so hopefully we got everything there. Yeah. So what we're going to do today is we're going to build a MarketPlan.io. We're going to build a funnel. Let's build a funnel. And then let's talk about the lifetime deals that we need. We'll use the sticky note for that, right? So we'll place these lifetime deals inside of the map so that everybody can understand where we're going to actually need, what tools we're actually going to need. So, okay, so Aaron, what are we selling? Give me a concept. Give me an idea here that we're selling.
What we're selling or what we're using? Like,
oh no, what are we going to sell? Like, give me a business model so we can build a funnel around it, and then we'll structure lifetime deals around it.
Let's do something that's pretty common.
Okay.
How about just a lead magnet?
Okay, lead magnet. Okay, we're going to build a lead magnet, and we're going to build it for, let's just say, for instance, we're going to build it for a agency, right? An agency service. Let's say we're an agency and we're wanting to sell our services. Okay, so the first thing that we need is, of course, we need a site. So we need a landing page. So we'll do that. Let's bring the landing page in, and this is going to be our main page, and we're going to actually have other pages that are lead magnets, like what you talked about. So we have this landing page, but we also have maybe two different like lead magnets, two different ways that we funnel people in to what it is we do, and then maybe a main landing page that's on our .com. So this is normally how we structure like any kind of business that's offering services, because sometimes you're trying to offer something that is available for a particular niche. So we try different, like running ads to two different places to see where we can get it. But then sometimes people just want to know more about you and they come to your website. So let's just call this, let me just move this up for a second. Let's just call this, this is my website. And I'm going to have, let's say, 3 different pages for the website. Let's say I'm going to have a landing page, and then I'm going to have, let me see, I'm going to have maybe a blog page, and I'm going to have my main blog. So maybe on my page, my goal is to get them to be educated. So I'm going to see how many visitors go to that. But all in all, I want to see how, we can get people to become leads. So let's start there. So the first thing that we need is we need to have some ads. We're going to run some ads, right? But we also need a social strategy because we're going to be doing some content. We're going to be running some content. So we have to be able to run a social plan. So our social plan is our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, however you choose. Now, I would suggest to you, and Aaron, maybe you can talk to this a little bit. Pick one, right? Reset this on the webinar that we did with SendPilot. Pick 1 or 2 channels at max. Yeah. Don't pick. It's going to be great. We're going to have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit. We're going to have, and you just keep going down the list. We're going to have 10 different channels that we're going to go. Like, honestly, you're not going to be able to be effective if you don't just choose 2. So let's go in here and let's just choose. We're going to go Facebook and Instagram. Those are the 2 ones that we're going to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to post our work, like the things that we've built for other clients, on our Instagram, and on our Facebook. We're going to try and engage people with a group. So that'll be the goal there. I can put all of my tasks on there. So that's good. Okay. So we've got that. Here, I think I'm going to run the ads on both Instagram and Facebook. So we'll start with Facebook here. Maybe we'll do a video ad just telling people about what it is that we do, trying out different solutions with that. And maybe we'll do another ad set that is Instagram right here, right? So let's just do, we'll do Instagram, and let's just call this, a customer story. So this is a story. We'll do a story. So maybe we'll have someone on camera just talking about how we help them accomplish their dream, right? So this is a really good thing to do in the beginning, is have people see, man, I had these struggles, I had these issues, and then I found, let's use someone in the group. That's Oob. I found Oob, right? Then I found Oob, and Oob helped me. His business helped me do A, B, and C. And now I find that I'm able to connect with my clients way better. I have this, I have that. And he tells about the solution. Cool, that's great. On this Facebook ad set, maybe we're just going to ask a question, right? This is going to be a question. So maybe that's going to be the first question that we're going to ask them. Or maybe we'll make it, instead of a question, another one that really works really well as your first thing is take an online quiz. Like, is your website, let's just say this quiz was, is your website really up to snuff? We're a web agency, Aaron. You and I are running a web agency now, and we're starting to get there. Okay, so the first question is going to run to this opt-in. This is going to be our quiz. So let's just go ahead and do that. We're going to put this as our quiz, right? And this is important because we now know, okay, we're running people from this Facebook ad to this quiz. Our customer story may end up leading to our segue. Maybe we're running a workshop from this customer story. Let's say someone's says, Oob is great. Where he's running this for me and whatever. And then maybe Oob comes on at the end of it and says, hey, I'm Oob. I'll help you with your business. I would love to see you just sign up for a quick webinar with me, or sign up for a quick call. Mm-hmm. And that will maybe lead to that. So we have this, maybe this is like an opt-in for a web class that he's running. Just maybe a free web class that he's offering. And education is a very huge way to be able to start to connect people online. It's a very used tool that we have to get used to. So in between all this, I would say the customer story goes here. We know that ad's there. We could probably bring this down a little bit here. So let's just bring all these pieces down so we have some space. And we could straighten this out. And so here's the goal. We have our visitors. And this kind of will lead to both. So we're going to be funneling visitors into both of these from our social network. Okay. So now let's talk, just stop for a second. Now, Aaron, let's talk about tools that we need for just this part. Like, what am I going to need to be able to execute this? Before I've even built the rest of my funnel, what am I going to need for this?
Absolutely.
Let's just go through it. So Facebook, right? I've got my Facebook ad. Like, what would I need for something like that? What are the kinds that, we don't have to mention the exact product names, but what are the kinds of tools that we're going to need?
Well, one of the things I was actually thinking of product names, since obviously we're from PitchGround. One of the things I was going to say is, if we're sending them to a landing page, one of the great things that I would throw in there is Let Convert, for example.
Which is, what? Let Convert, right?
Right. For the page.
Okay. Okay. So here we go. We've got our chatbot. We can introduce this, right? as like a, maybe like we could call this on the quiz, maybe on the web class. So-and-so signed up for the web class, so-and-so signed up for the web class. That's kind of important. So let's just put this chatbot right here for right now. And we can still, hit our view button, but we put this chatbot, it's on the page, and maybe we'll just call it, here we go, let convert. And we could basically just say, so-and-so, name, let's just say name, just signed up for the web class, right? So this would be something that people will be going on the bottom left. Is that correct? Bottom left with let convert, bottom left of the page. So we'll put it right here. So let convert is literally on the page. We're now structuring our lifetime deal. So we've got our lifetime deal on our this right here. And also we can have let convert. Let's just do this real quick. So let's grab this and let's duplicate it. And we come over here and we'll put let convert on this website as well. So it could basically say, this person signed up with Oob today. This person signed up with this with this today, with that today. I want to see if there's any questions real quick. Oh, the wrong one. Hold on. Aaron, are there any questions at this point?
More comments right now. I'm scrolling up here, catching up with everybody right now. Another thing too, customerly as well, like the email information and the survey.
Yeah, we can definitely bring in customerly on each of these sites as well. This is our chat bots, and we can put them right here and say, okay, like I've got the chat on the bottom. I like to put them on the bottom of the page because that's where they are, And if they're leading somewhere, I can always lead them somewhere, but I always just try to put them on the page. So maybe on the quiz page, we don't necessarily want a chat bot because a lot of times I just want to be able to see if they will actually take the quiz, and I want to make it real fun. And I want to make it like an uninterrupted experience, because a lot of times with quizzes, you really have to be thinking about how you're going to, be able to leverage, like it should be a fun experience. Like take the quiz. Like if you're going to put an ad out, right, you're going to say like, is your website, are you a boring, is your website boring? Take the quiz, and then they come to the quiz and it looks all fun and it says, all right, you're about to take the quiz. Get ready for some shocking results or something like that,
We've all done them. We've all been there.
Come on, it's basically saying like, what is the headline of your site, or something like that. It's the headline of my site explains my product. The headline of my site tells the solution. The headline of my site, they pick from these multiple choice solutions. And then I take them through, and by the end of it, I've like given them a badge, like you're a bronze, or I'm sorry, but your website completely sucks. Do you want help? Something like that. Just got to lead them through, and then from there, I can funnel them down into my different funnels, which is kind of where we have to start talking about it. So maybe from that point on, I want to shoot them an opportunity. Of course, these are opt-in pages. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect them with a sales page. I want to sell them on something, right? That's the next idea. I want to connect them with a sales page. Okay, there we go. There's my leads. And so, I think it's kind of important that we've connected the sales page. Now we're going to have an order page where they can actually purchase that from me. And you'll see here in between those two comes in a visitors, and we're going to now have them order to, let's just say we just want them to do something very simple, which is just, start a coaching, once a month coaching with me to help them, their website get better. Okay, cool. Or help them with their marketing, or help them with their, whatever it is that I'm saying I'm going to help them with, let me do that. So, and I'm just going to sell a small little product. Maybe it's a free plus shipping offer. Maybe it's like a 10 ways to get your website to be better. I promise at the end of this particular thing, listen, I'm going to give you the booklet for absolutely free, but I'm going to do free plus shipping offers. So that's what we're going to do, is a free plus shipping offer. So let's just do that here in the order form. We'll say, hold on a second. So free plus shipping, and that's going to be kind of important for us to know what we're selling. It's because we're going to have to know how to go ahead and do it. Like for instance, like on the web class, maybe the goal of the web class is a different goal, Aaron. Like maybe the goal is to get them to my calendar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so I've got a lead. I guess it probably won't be, it will be a lead maybe to go to the calendar and pick the date. Yeah, so I'm gonna capture their email. Once I capture their email, I'm gonna say to them, hey, pick a date that you want to meet with me. And then from there, I'm just gonna, either run them to just, I guess the same thing, just a confirmation page that we're going to be able to say, okay, thank you. I look forward to our chat, and let's go from there. So now we've got a complete funnel. This is a complete funnel for this particular niche that we're talking about today. We've got our website. It's going to lead to our blog post, and hopefully from our blog posts, we can be in our blog post at the end, be using a CTA that kind of leads back to these particular pieces, right? So we could have it kind of come back, from the blog to here, and maybe from the blog to here. We could be increasing the amount of visitors to these particular pieces. And these are the two pieces. And that's, I think, something that is interesting. Chris, who's been working with us at MarketPlan.io quite extensively, has been saying, he uses this method called clear. And Aaron, I don't know if you heard of this, but it's pretty cool. It's called clear. It's basically taking the parts. I don't know the exact alliteration. It's basically collecting assets. So clear, collecting and leveraging assets that already exist, right? The already exist is the A. Mm-hmm. Collecting and leveraging assets that exist for ROI. So saying, what do I already have that I can offer today? Instead of me building a brand new universe, what do I already have? Well, maybe I have this little webinar that I ran a long time ago. How can I leverage the webinar? Well, pull it in and make it a web class. I did that with the profit pinpointing. I did that with this particular, I'll show you right now with conversionfly.com. Let me go there real quick. Conversionfly.com. And basically, if we go there and we have this Xbox, this is actually our #1 lead generation app, right? The moment people come to the site and they're like, oh, I like it, that's pretty cool. However, when they leave, I come up with this exit pop and I just basically say, hey, free web class. This is a profit pinpointing web class, and people can go through it and they can learn how profit pinpointing can better their business. Once they get to that place, a lot of times they become a lead, and I can start converting them because now they've already watched a web class. Now, I did that webinar a year and a half ago, and Tyler and I just sat there and we just did it. And it probably took me like 20 hours to put together. It takes a lot of time to put a web class together. But once you put it together, now you can reuse it, put fresh graphics, put fresh pieces that you can already leverage pieces of what you're doing. And I like that fundamental idea. And I think that's something that you should start to do in your business, guys. It really will help you to not stress and strain about all of it. There's a lot of stress and strain that comes because people they have to feel like they're got to create 40 days of content or 50 days of content. So anyway,
look at this. You just built this in like 15 minutes.
Right, exactly. So I just built this plan, and let's start talking about this. So we've got,
and like we could throw in SendPilot, for example, from the blog page, and create another just for posts.
Right. Okay. So let's do that. So we've got Let Convert as a product here. All the yellow pieces are going to be our products, right? So we've got Let Convert here. We're going to have SendPilot that's going to use our blog. Okay. So that's going to be right there. We're going to have Let Convert here as well. So let's just, hold on. Let's duplicate this. Let Convert will be here as well. We've got customarily here. Is that correct?
Yeah. Melissa is asking, what do you use for making your quizzes?
Okay, so there's a few solutions that you can use for quizzes. Right now we are using Typeform, but there are tons of different ways to leverage a quiz. Sometimes you can actually just build the quiz by yourself, like with a web page. I know that sounds really weird. A lot of times people want the data on the quizzes, but really, if you don't have the ability to pay for a monthly deal on quizzes, what you can do is really just, go ahead and leverage the biggest part of it. It was like a web page. I'll show you a web page that right now I'm busy building for Convert Pages. This is the survey that we're busy doing for users that come through the door. So I'll give you an example. When people are going to be building their funnels, we ask them these questions. This is WordPress. We're using WordPress here. So here's an example. Someone, okay, what do you want to build? I want to embed a funnel on another website, or I want to create a standalone hosted funnel with us, or I want to start from scratch. And if they click, I want to do a standalone funnel, you'll see that this is going to now go to start with. So start with smart sections. This is another page in WordPress. You see, it says up here, new funnel, standalone. So we've actually built pages. So you can build these really cool looking quizzes with just your WordPress site. Like, I don't know if anybody's thought of this, but we thought, like, listen, we can use tons of quizzing software out there, but really, what's the easiest way to do this? I mean, if I go, let's say, for instance, I go here to step templates. Now I'm on another page that has actually dynamic content. And this is from a lifetime deal. Just so you can know, this lifetime deal is over here. Just go to Brizzy.io. We built this entire quiz with Brizzy.io. And we actually bought the pro version because the pro version comes with this awesome header plugin. Here they are leveraging their stuff, but we bought this pro version and the price has been going up, and we bought it when it was $199. I don't know what it is now. Let's just check. But Brizzy right now,
I'm still impressed with what Tyler did that day. Yeah. Within 2 days of getting the site going, that was
that's what we built MarketPlan.io with. We took this lifetime deal. There's a lifetime deal right here for Brizzy. And I know we're like, this again, our goal is not just to make the money off of PitchGround. Our goal is to equip you guys. This is a web page WordPress builder. Now, what this will not allow you to do is not allow you to build full funnels. That's where you're probably going to have to pay monthly for being able to do like order forms and upsells and those kinds of things, actual things that make money. Those are things that this does not do, but it builds everything else. Like I said, we're building this, this template builder right now. You can basically click on these different pieces and you can have different sections. Like we're still building this, right? So you can see all of the different sections that are coming up, and someone can hit start over, and it feels like a quiz that you can give people. It feels like a quiz. So Melissa, hopefully that answers your question. But right now, what we're using for our internal surveys, if we're doing them inside of the app, we're using something like Typeform, which we pay monthly for. But so that like when we're doing our segmenting, what we do at the end of our segments, like for instance, if I were to click this button, maybe I'd put a form on that button, a form from my autoresponder, and basically say sign up today. And really, like, as much as you could measure, like how many people click this button, how many people click that button, you can measure those things. Those things are important, and that's why we invest in tools like Typeform. But if you don't have the cash to do that, go on your WordPress site, build something like this, and instantly start to, like, you'll know by how many people signed up for each thing, right? You have an autoresponder. So how many people signed up for list 1? How many people signed up for list 2? How many people signed up for list 3? That's a clear way to segment. And we call that putting people in buckets, putting people in different buckets. Like let's say this question wasn't start from scratch. It was, what are you, have you built how would you say your website ranks? I've already built my website fully and I think it's pretty good. I've never built a website before, or whatever, like let's say, or I've built my website, but I'm not confident in it. Then when people choose these options, you would basically, the next thing you would give them is an opt-in form, an opportunity for them to opt in. At the end of the quiz, they're going to opt in and become a lead. And then they're going to be led to the sales page based on what they answered. So you might have several different sales pages. Like this funnel may look different. You might have 2 different destinations that people reach. Maybe they reach the web class. Maybe one of them, goes from becoming a lead to a sales page. Maybe the sales page is that it becomes a web class. Maybe it comes from the lead and goes back to this. Like you never know. Like you never know where it's going to go. But my point is that you have a plan at first, so you know what tools that you need. So like I said, with the quiz, we're going to need, let's say, for instance, here, we're going to use a page builder. We're just going to use WordPress. So we're going to use our WordPress theme. Now you can do this with Elementor. You can do this with multiple different things. You can do this with multiple different sites, Beaver Builder, Divi, whatever. I mean, you can build your quiz right here and land people up with whatever autoresponder, which brings us to our next lifetime deal. Like probably, we had some different, email sequences. This could legitimately be customerly right now. Mm-hmm. So this could be customerly. And it could basically say, what's the purpose of this campaign? It's to basically convert them to the sales page. Basically, you're preparing them for what they're going to, what they're going to buy. And this is like, I'm going to run them straight from becoming a lead into customerly. And from there, I'm going to lead them into here. So it's going to look kind of like that. And so customerly is now going to help me to convert these people, these leads back into sales. And what I could do just to kind of depict that a little bit better is basically say, I'm going to come from here and maybe I'm going to create a little bit of space. So let's just highlight all these and move them over. And maybe I'm going to just come over here. Maybe I can come over here to traffic and conversion and I can say, let's see how many visitors came from here, and I can connect that like that. And so there we go. I've got now I'm actually seeing what's happening, but I can also connect these together if I wanted. So I could say maybe sometimes the leads go straight to the sales page, but maybe I want to retarget them back to the sales page. Does that make sense, Aaron?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So now we're starting to fill these in. So we've got customerly right here. So let's just copy customerly from down here. And we'll see how we can start instantly leveraging the deals that we've offered, not only with PitchGround, but the deals that are out there now. You can start, using these pieces. And what I like to do is with these stickies is I like to basically just put, what exactly we're going to do. So we're going to basically just say, recent signups. That's what I want to feature on that. And then on this is my chat software. I'm going to do customerly. And maybe I'm going to say, maybe I'll do a chatbot. Maybe I'll do a welcome message. And again, I can either get rid of these. Like, let's say, for instance, if I got rid of this, I could just put this here and just write what's going to happen on that particular thing. But I like to just, when I'm building, I like to be able to see what it is what actual tools. And if I need to go in here and actually build that, I can build it. So I normally just kind of put something over here if I'm not connecting it. So I could just kind of hit the view button and go.
This is where I would use the icons the customized icons for myself.
Okay, yeah. So that's another way you could go is you could drag in a task element and basically just put in whatever you would put in here. So it'd be like, I guess you could do a chat, and you could use this. Maybe this looks more like a customerly kind of thing, and then you could basically put customerly.
Also, Melissa is asking, remind me how to clone an element. I always forgot.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So cloning an element, you just drag it over to where you want it. You hit the command key or the control key for Windows, and you just drag. Once you start seeing that drag, you just drag it over. When you see it highlight, you can either save this as a template, or you could just hit Command or Control D, depending on if you're on a PC or a Mac. If you're on a Mac, you just hit Control D, and it will basically just duplicate right there for you. So you can go ahead and just really leverage that for where you are. So that's kind of the way we could do it here. And then I guess, Aaron, the way you would leverage that is you would just kind of put in your chatbot questions here, right? Or your welcome sequence, right?
Depends if it's a longer one, then I'll use the chat flow.
Okay.
But on a simple,
it's like a one question thing and you want to assign tasks, you're just gonna use this. That's awesome. I love that. That's a great idea. And there's tons of ways to use it. Like, listen, there's no rules here, right? There's no oh no, you did it wrong. Like, no, you did it right. don't get intimidated with the tools you use. Honestly, a lot of times you'll go to these conferences and people say like, if you know how to use your tools perfectly, like, yes, that's true. Knowing how to use your tools to its full extent will give you a better upper hand in your business. At the same time, you need to make sure that your tools are not necessarily, over like that. You're not like over pressing it, because you could over convert someone on a tool. Like imagine if you built like a 40 question chatbot, right? And the person's there to have a quiz. Like, is that really going to help? Like you're going to ask them questions on a quiz that you're already asking them questions on a quiz. Now you're going to ask them 40 questions on a chatbot. Just not good ideas. You've got to make sure that you're putting the right pieces in the right place. So we're gonna use WordPress here, and we're gonna make a little quiz that's gonna lead to an opt-in form, opt-in 1, opt-in 2, and opt-in 3. And we're gonna have 3 different options where people can come in, and we're going to be able to use this. So WordPress being a open domain platform is a great lifetime deal that's absolutely free for you to get into right now. So I would say this, I venture to say this, there are tons of free things right now that you could start leveraging for your business. So you don't even have to buy an LTD, right? So get started there. I would get started there. Before you spend a penny, get started there. Build your plan out like this and be able to say, okay, this is how I'm going to leverage it. So I'm going to use WordPress, I'm going to use Customerly for my emails. I'm going to use Customerly for my chatbot. I'm going to use Let Convert on my sites for social proof. I'm going to use SendPilot for my blog to be able to shoot my blog to my social sites. So that's also where I'm going to come here with my social plan. I'm going to drag another one of these stickies in, and this is where I'm going to start being able to automate my social plan with SendPilot. So you'll see here that SendPilot is now going to be able to do, like let's say for instance, every week posts. So I can now find relevant posts. I could post every week into my social plan. And let's say I didn't want to do that regimen. I know with what Reese showed us on the webinar, you can basically say every 3 days. So every 3 days, I'm going to post a certain thing. It could be once a month. It could be whatever. And you can use it. You could use other particular, social platforms that have been, like Social Bee. I know a lot of you guys have grabbed Social Bee. You can start scheduling those up. I know Reese is busy working with SendPilot to be able to become a complete scheduler. Like they're getting the Facebook API, the Instagram API, the Twitter. I think they have the Twitter API. They have most of these APIs already connected, but now they're just kind of looking for, trust me when I say I know how hard it is to get approved for an API with Facebook. So that's happening right now. Reese has already done everything on his side of the ball. It's coming through, and SendPilot is available on PitchGround right now. So this will help you so that you're not spending all your time on your social plan, right? You're also going to need some image creation software. So I don't know, what's a good image creation software, Aaron, that you would suggest for people to be able to create their ads?
Affinity's great. I actually just picked that up. It was kind of interesting when you said that. I'm like, hey, I just got that on Black Friday, actually.
Okay, Affinity Photo, right? Is it Affinity Photo that you bought, or Affinity Designer?
I got both. Okay.
So we'll just say image or ad creation, right? This is ad creation software. And we're going to say that this is going to be Affinity. What other tools? Designer.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. I mean, Usign is out there. There's so many of them. There's not Canvas. Canvas is great.
Yeah, Canvas is a free one that you can get most of your results. For like Canva, honestly, we used Canva for the longest time and never actually did anything else except for Canva, just because of how easy it was. And the fact that you can also do, the thing I like about Canva is it's got this, the ability for you to edit on the go. So it's got this mobile feature where you could basically edit your posts mobilely. That's really awesome. There's a ton of other ones out there, but that's a good one. So you can start creating your ads like that. That's a good ad creation platform. Another one that I like, which is offering a really good annual, was WeVideo, wasn't it? Was it WeVideo, or is it WeVids, or what is it? Wave, isn't it Wave? Wave Video?
Oh, Wave?
Yeah, Wave Video helps create those video ads, right?
Yeah, Wave is great. They had they had a great deal going at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be a really good way to leverage Wave Video for your ads. Now, all of these can basically apply. You know, we can literally apply these over to, you know, to here on our Instagram as well. So now you're seeing, like, okay, let's just be honest. Like, okay, here's okay. Wait, we forgot one. So we got our calendar right here, and I'm familiar with our calendar here. Cogsworth, remember that deal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Cogsworth, this was a great one for people that are running individual. Like, we actually picked up three of these. It was really good because it allowed us to. I think are they still running this, right?
Yeah, they are. I picked one up myself.
Yeah. So you've seen what? Okay, so here's what we've done, right? And then again, this is going to be a WordPress page. Right here, we get to our free plus shipping offer. This is where we need to start leveraging other products, right? This is where we might need to put some sort of cart software, or I mean, you could get the lifetime deal of Thrive Cart, or you can. There's tons of different ways that you could do this. I mean, what's the other? I think there's one called Cart Flows. Is that right?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, however you want to go about it, but I'm trying to give you guys lifetime deal options here. But really, what we've done here is we've literally just created a quiz that leads to an opt-in form that then leads to our customerly emails that'll go towards them to come back to the sales page. And maybe on those particular pieces, we want to, we want to leverage, customerly again. Let's say, for instance, we want customerly on this sales page. We want customerly on the free plus shipping offer.
And we're not saying run out there and get a bunch of stuff. What we're saying is utilize what you have.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of you guys have already bought these. Is there any more questions, Aaron? I just want to make sure we're
getting, let's see. Let me scroll up just a little bit.
Does anybody have any questions about this particular flow?
I'm not seeing any.
Okay.
If anybody has any questions, please don't feel bad about retyping them.
Oh, they're getting lost in the plethora.
Mostly comments here.
Okay. You want to read back some comments just so we can get some context?
Just going off about the tools, basically like Cogsworth. Thomas says he's got 5 licenses.
Oh, okay.
I'm with you. It's a great tool. It's really a good tool, actually.
Yeah,
Boris is in our group too here. He's a founder.
Oh, awesome.
I believe he is.
He's the founder of what?
Cogsworth.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome. So you guys can see here, we've built this funnel, and you can see how we've already been able to, really start to convert this particular, this particular thing with like all of the lifetime deals that we've just gotten. This is what, I think what makes the difference is being able to see how we can leverage these things in real life. Like what we can do today, like to start, like what are we going to do right now is the real question. What are we going to do to start actually moving forward in our actual building of our funnels and how we're going to do this? So you've got all these tools, and you can see here that the way we've been able to solve these tools, like we've been able to solve everything up to the actual like page that we're going to be offering that free plus shipping for the billing details. We pretty much have all lifetime deals right here. This is literally all we're going to need to run an entire sequence. This is all we need.
And we can get so much more in depth, like customerly, for example, you can create different tags, run it off events. You can segment. I mean, there's so much you can get into. We really want to.
Yeah. And you can run different sequences for different kinds of lists that have opted in, different kinds of things. The automation software inside of Customerly is dynamic. I mean, listen, like, I remember saying to you that I was like, dude, honestly, you guys need to get in touch with Customerly. These guys are up and coming. We've gone through every single solution with Customerly, trying to replace Intercom.io because Intercom.io was just getting unmanageable. I mean, every time I see a monthly deal start costing me upwards of $300 to $500 a month, I start going, there's got to be someone else that's at least thought of taking these guys down. And we went through every single one. I mean, you name it, like Help Crunch, Drift, and all these guys. We went through every single one of them, picked up a trial, and nope, it can't do it. Nope, it can't do it. Nope, can't do it. Come up to Customerly, and then we realized, oh my gosh, wait, we could like replace our like in-app chat software with survey software with like we could literally like do it all. Like this is like either this is not true or it's true. And we jumped on, and the thing that was amazing about it, which we didn't get from Intercom at all, was the moment we jumped on, we got that instant personal connection with Luca.
Yeah.
Luca was like, dude, come on, you've got to come on this. We're so grateful that you came on board. They're hungry for the business, not only just for the business, but for the relationship. They actually care about businesses. It's like almost like, and Luca told the story on his last webinar. He said, like, listen, like guys, the reason why I built this was because I have already built $1 million business and I couldn't answer these questions. So you know that this is time tested and approved. He actually went through the struggles and the pain, kind of like MarketPlan.io. I went through the struggles and the pain of being like many of you, where I just didn't know what to do next. I didn't know how to assign my tasks to my team. I didn't know what we were going to leverage next. What were we going to do? And so that was kind of it's like the most important part of the puzzle for us. And so that's why it's so important for us to be able to start using and leveraging these lifetime deals as soon as possible, because otherwise we're going to get stuck. And I'll tell you why getting stuck. It sounds.
Don't wait.
What'd you say?
Oh, I was just saying, don't wait. Don't wait.
Because what'll happen is there'll be another lifetime deal, and then you'll say, well, oh gosh, I guess I need that too. And then, I guess I need that too. I guess I need that too. Like Aaron said, he was spending up to $1,500 a month on LTDs, saying, I'm going to use this one day. I'm going to use this one day. And listen, like the reality is until something like, I think you had a lot of different pieces of software, but you guys ended up using I think it was a different monthly product that you actually picked up to actually answer the chats at first before you guys had the relationship with Luca, right?
Right.
That's correct. That you had a monthly deal with another chatting software. And I remember that was when we were running MarketPlan. You invited me in, and I think it was Crisp, right? We were running Crisp, and we were answering questions together. Aaron and I were in there. How many of you guys chatted with me in there? And then we made the connection with Luca, and Luca was like, dude, you could run all this from Customerly, and let's do it. And so listen, we've been able to secure these great relationships for you to be able to leverage, for you to be able to come to that place where you can really start leveraging the pieces of your business every day. Start saying, like, what do I do today? Like, what can I set up today? Like, let me set up the quiz today, and set some small goals for yourself. When I say some small goals, a lot of times you have this big idea, right? And that's why planning is so essential. You can just start working on one part of your plan. And actually, let me go back, because I know I just stopped sharing my screen. But I want to show you, like, for instance, where I would start. I would start at this quiz. And what I would do is I would just come over here and I would just start making checklists for myself. Okay, so, build, or maybe ask some questions. Maybe that's the first thing. Go onto some social networks and ask some questions. So social network.
And one thing, if I want to jump in here real fast, sorry. In the beginning, you were talking about just pick one or two social media channels to stick with.
Right.
On that point, I totally 100% agree with that. Right now is the time to personalize your relationships with everybody, whether it's your own customers, but especially brand new visitors, leads, people that you're interacting with. 2017, 2018 and onwards right now, it's all about personalization. You really need to personalize everything. You cannot do that by automating every single, trying to spread yourself out and automating every single thing. You need to actually take some time, get in there and start talking to your customers, with your clients, with your followers, make it personalized, and you'll find your business will grow at a much larger scale than trying to automate things nowadays.
Right, exactly. And so that's amazing. I mean, that's totally right, Aaron. And I think, so what we would do is, like, I just put here PitchGround survey because I mean, let's just say the PitchGround community is amazing. Like you want to get feedback for anything, come to PitchGround, ask the question. You're going to get a plethora of responses. So maybe you ask a question on this particular PitchGround survey and you just say, hey guys, I'm putting together a survey. Here's my 4 questions that I plan on asking. What do you guys think about them? Maybe some people say like, listen, I don't think this particular, maybe question 3 is not very helpful. Maybe it's not going to really help you segment people a lot. Maybe I'd ask a more direct question like this. So you can actually know. Then you build your survey after that, right?
Yeah.
Then from there, you want to start actually, creating. So you have to basically build opt-in forms. You have to build your forms. And that's going to be a next thing that you're going to have to do. And now you're going to start assigning. So let's say, for instance, one of your members is going to do this. So let's say it's me. I'm a solopreneur, Aaron, in this particular way, and me. I'm doing it all. Okay. Now you'll see here on MarketPlan that you've got this, 3 up here. And you'll see here on the bottom of it that you've got this 0%, right? You've got the 0%. So okay, like I'm 0% done with my quiz. So let me today, this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to start building this quiz because this quiz is going to lead to don't get overwhelmed. Once you've built the plan, don't be like, where do I start? Where do I start? Start here. Start at the thing before you're going to run your ads. You can't run an ad to nothing. Okay. You can't run an ad to nothing. So build something. Start at the quiz and start putting your list together of what it is you're going to do. You've got 3 things to do here before you move on to your next thing. Okay, cool. I'm going to start with my quiz or with my web class. What am I going to start with? So with my web class, I'm going to start to, I'm going to build a mind map of my keywords of what I'm going to talk about. Okay.
Great idea.
Then what else? I mean, Aaron, maybe some suggestions here with a web class. What would you do?
You need to outline the content.
Okay, outline the content.
Figure out which videos are going to be what. So series.
Okay, so which?
I would start with maybe titles. Your topics. Topics, probably better.
Video topics. How are you going to break that down? Okay. What else? I think next is recording them, right?
Recording
videos.
Yeah, I think it just go on from there. I mean, are you going to add your intros?
Yeah, intros. Intro to all of them, and then maybe after that it will be you got to create the page to host the videos, and then you have to
you have your content that you're actually going to write, your actual text.
Right. You have the form on here, and you need copy. Right. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there you go. I've got all that. I can either assign it to myself, like I said, sit here and assign it to myself, and I don't get overwhelmed because how you eat an elephant is one bite at a time, right? You don't just say like, okay, like I got to be done with all of this in week 1. Like you don't have to be done with all of this.
Aaliyah just said, this is crazy. There are people selling courses on how to make courses, taking notes.
Right. Exactly. And so like, okay, I've got everything I've got here. Okay, cool. Here we go. 8 things to do here and 3 things to do here. I'm going to start here because until I have these assets done, I can't really book a call. I can't really book with Cogsworth, right? I can't really work with Cogsworth until I've got this ready. I can get this ready a day before when this is ready. Does that make sense? Like I could have my calendar set up with Cogsworth in 1 day if I just had this ready. I think that's the biggest part of the puzzle. How am I going to be able to get this person to give me their lead? How am I going to do the web class that's going to lead them to that call, that's going to allow me to convert them over to maybe a product that I'm offering, or maybe a service that I'm offering. And so, like I said, I mean, we could put in a traffic and conversion sales module because maybe you're going to make a sale on this. And maybe you're going to see, how many people have booked a call, and you're going to see how many sales came from that particular calendar event. Or maybe the opposite of that. Maybe you want to say, the call and you want to bring in a call script, okay, you're gonna have a call with that person, and I could have like a list of things that I want to ask them. I can have, questions that I want to ask them here. And I could just say, one, do you have a website? Two, what is your goal of your website? Okay, this is the stuff I'm going to ask them on the call. So when I'm having the call, I can open this up and I can basically ask them these questions, targeted questions, and be filling this out with my customer as they're answering. And again, duplicate this for each of my clients when I'm with MarketPlan.io. Just fold that up. I guess underline it as well, so we know where we're breaking it up. And boom, I've got that, and that's going to lead to my sales. I'm going to try and sell them on a call, and I can go in here and I can edit how many people bought this product. I can say, okay, this is a service, and I'm charging $3.99 for this service, and I sold 3. And when I sell another one, I can come in here and say I sold 4. And instantly right here in the projections, I can see here, this is how much sales I've generated. Once I actually populate my visitors inside here to be able to say, okay, like say I had 1,000 visitors to this, maybe that's my goal. And maybe I have, let's say 2,000 visitors to that. Now I'm going to have 3,000 visitors, and now I'm going to know, how many leads. And let's say on the lead side, I converted 15% on this one. And let's say on this one, the quiz is just so popular that I'm able to, convert. Oh, I don't know if maybe I'm selecting something I should do. There we go. Able to select, let's say I did 30% of people because they like the quiz. So now I know how many leads I've got. And I also know I've got 600 leads. I know the lead value. I know the transaction value. I'm able to understand, like what am I selling this free plus shipping? Maybe I'm doing like a $9 free shipping booklet that I've made, and it's only going to be $9.99 for shipping. And I sold, let's say, I had 1,000 visitors come from there, 30%. So let's just do 30%, right? And now I can start seeing, okay, cool, like this is going to start populating. Now I see my average transaction value is $3.99, of course, because I'm selling that. I've got 1,500 in sales. I've got 600 leads. I got I can start putting my expenses in with my ads. Like, okay, like what am I going to spend on Facebook this month with this ad? So let me go in here and budget it up. I'm gonna go ahead and spend $500 and see where I get. See how far I can get down the funnel. So when I come back here, I can see that I've made $1,000. So my goal here is like, if I can make $1,000 off of this quiz, or $1,000 off of this web class, like this funnel, if it can make me $1,000, I'm gonna have a positive ROI. Then all I can do is spend more money on these. So I could just come here and increase the budget, which would increase the visitor count. So let's say, for instance, if I increase the budget of this to $2,000 because now it's working, right? And then come over here and say, well, this is just going to end up being, for me, it's just going to end up being like what, 3,000 visitors. Now all of a sudden it's going to start meaning more to be able to convert these people. Let's just see. Hold on. I wonder if this is this populating in? Not sure. Doesn't look like it is. Oh, you know why? Because I didn't actually push the traffic through. So let me do that again. Hold on. So 30%. I need to push this through. So let's say, for instance, from the emails, I had 50% of those people come through, and from there, I had 40% of those amount of people buy. So now you'll see, oh, look at this. I've spent that, but I've made now $82. Now I can start looking and say, okay, cool. I'm actually in the positive here. I made $400 here. I made $1,500 here. I spent $2,000. Man, like I'm actually in the green. If I offered an upsell here, I could possibly break even, and this could probably be profitable for me. Or maybe I need to downsize my ad cost, or see if I can get my ad cost down. Maybe I can get, for the amount that I'm spending for 2,000 a month, maybe I could get 4,000 people to the site. What that would do is that would increase the revenue end on this side. I would be able to say, okay, more people flow through the funnel. Then maybe I increased my opt-in rate. Maybe the quiz, I presented the opt-in there. Maybe I was able to get a 40%, let's say I've been able to actually get this percentage. I've been able to get 70%. Let's see what that looks like.
Being able to run your ROI right there with MarketPlan being able to run your own ROI numbers on there is so amazing.
I know, just like being able to sit here and just go through the plan and say, okay, now this thing. But again, now I know, is this worth building? Is this worth going through and doing? Is it like, now I'm at this point in the marketing process where I'm like, okay, is this worth it? Is this worth my time? Is this worth energy? Like, how many days will it take me to set this up? So again, like what we could do is we could basically just zero this out for right now, right? Let's say we zero this out so we know, okay, this is how many visitors, 4,000. We're going to be able to make $1,000 on just basically doing a quiz that leads to a free plus shipping offer. And we're going to sell it for $9. And if we get 30% of people of even 30% of a 70% or 40% to actually buy with me, I can make $1,000. Is that worthwhile for me to be able to spend the $2,000 right now? Is that worthwhile for me to be able to spend the amount of money I'm spending? And I can split it up. I can split it up between 3 different ads. So I could say, like, let's say I only spent $1,000 on this ad, but I wanted to try like a long copy ad. So maybe just a long copy ad, and you could add my copy in here. Do you actually make money on your site? And then something like a story. Joe does. And here is how he does it.
Joe's secret.
Yeah, here's Joe's secret. I like that better. Here is Joe's secret. I'm going to have like a long copy form. I can write it inside here. I can basically say, I'm going to try and put a budget of, like, again, I can fill this all in when I'm ready to go. But being able to say, okay, like, what's the live? So I got to move this out of the way because I got Zoom over here in the way. So I got my live budget, but my projected budget for this, maybe this will be, I don't know, like 700, right? So you're going to see here on the bottom, I've got this total budget of 1,700. And when I go in here, I've got the total budget of 1,700 of my expenses. I can split that between my Instagram. Like I said, I have an Instagram ad as well. This is just an image that I want to run as an ad, and I want to project the budget at 300 because I just want to see how Instagram is going to work for me because I'm not really sure. But you can see here now, the total expenses are 2,000. I've spread that out evenly between there, and I've been able to put my social posts. Maybe I want to try and see if I can get some likes. Maybe I want to try and see if I can get some traffic. This is the important part. This is why we're going through this today. And like this is why Udit was telling me, like, Udit's on my back. He's like, Ty, I know we're not going to do a lifetime deal for MarketPlan.io again, but like, can we just offer like a very, very, very inexpensive annual? So it took a little bit of twisting of my arm, but
a little bit.
I believe you guys need this tool. You guys need this tool, and I'm willing to take the risk and the sacrifice that it takes for getting as many users on board to this tool. You can go to PitchGround, go into the deals, and you'll see that MarketPlan.io is right there. You can go ahead and purchase this today for an extreme. Like, literally, it is under $10 a month. Okay, we stretched. You didn't know, we stretched to make this happen. And we want you guys to be in here to be able to build your funnel, to be able to know your plan and know where you're going to place these lifetime deals. This is the most important part. Know where you're going to be able to place these lifetime deals. Any questions or comments so far, Aaron? I think we've covered most of everything.
We've got one from Francisco. What are the integrations? AdWords, Google Analytics, Facebook ads, Stripe, PayPal, or everything is build flow and forecast with the numbers entered. Can we track our funnel's performance in real time? That's why I'm asking.
So he's asking about MarketPlan.io. Okay, so he's not asking about lifetime deals. Okay, so yes, with MarketPlan.io, we are heavy in the works. I can show you something. Actually, no, I'm going to show you guys a little bit. This is what we have going right now with MarketPlan.io. Actually, I'll go there in a second. yes, with live mode coming up, you're going to be able to place the tracking code. Was it Francisco?
Yeah.
Yeah, Francisco. You're going to be able to copy this code, put it on the header of your whole site, and you're going to be able to go through and see how was January's traffic, how was February's traffic, how was March's traffic, how was April's traffic, how was June's traffic. You're going to be able to do all this. You're going to be able to see how was this last week, how was the last 7 days. You're going to be able to see the real flow, because once you hit live mode, these numbers will become real. But when you're in planning mode, these numbers are actually projections. Does that make sense? So that like this is like why I built it, is because I knew that you were going to need it for those 4 phases. And so the first phase is planning. The second phase is execution, right? What we just talked about, building the quiz, going ahead and putting some things down and saying, we're going to build this, we're going to make this, So like, let's say, for instance, this is the encouraging part that I like about MarketPlan is when, like, let's say, for instance, okay, I did my PitchGround survey. I can mark that as done. Now I'm at 33%. Like, there's hope. I know how far I am through the process, right? There's hope. So here we go. I built my survey. I'm done with that. Cool. I'm 67% done. I'm about to be done. And boom, I'm done. When I'm done, I got this nice big check mark right here that says like, your quiz is ready to go. This is no more having the days where you forgot your order form hookup, or you forgot to hook up your Stripe account, or you forgot to do this, or, oh my gosh, I forgot that we had to have a thank you page. Oh my gosh, I forgot that we had to have this. Like, now you're going to be able to execute and be able to put the things on the board. And that's why we suggest you go through the planning process first. Then you go through the execution part. Then you go through what I call the projections, being able to project revenue and pricing so that you can price your products or your services the right way, and then be able to go into live mode and set it live and actually begin what's called live optimization. So a lot of people talk about split testing and all this stuff. Like, we're going to have split testing in MarketPlan.io. That's coming out. We're going to have the ability to split test up to 20 pages. I'm not sure why someone, Aaron, would like to split test 20 pages ever in their life, but we're going to give them that ability. You're going to be able to split it up into 5% increments. So if you want to start a split test of just 5%, because you have a really good page, but you have a better idea, you could just take 2 pages and do 95% of your traffic to one page. You can do 5% of your traffic to another page. And then you can slowly start to increase that as the conversion rate goes up. You can slowly start to push it up to the next level. That's the goal with split testing. But again, going into live mode, now you're going to be able to see the flow of this traffic coming through the door, and you're going to be able to see, is this really fitting up to 40%? Is this really 40%? Is this really 70%? And why is it not 70%? So you can actually know the bottlenecks of your funnel and begin converting those pieces right now. That's the most important part of the puzzle. Being able to set the things live and see if they work in the real world. Because planning is only one part. But if you don't do planning, then you can't do live. If you're just going to...
I've gotten that question so many times. Like, is this like a ClickFunnels tool? Is this like, a funnel builder?
Yeah.
And what a lot of people are missing is the tool. Do you have a tool? Like, how are you planning all this stuff? Are you just going in there and just building a page, hoping it's work? Are you tracking anything? Are you collaborating with your team? I mean, how much back and forth is there? MarketPlan solves all that. Yeah, and what we did was we thought about that, right, Aaron? So when we talked about building pages, we thought about like, okay, why would we create a page builder when, like, we've done survey after survey after survey after survey, and everybody says the same thing? I use WordPress. Like 70% of everyone online, if you do the demographics, just go and look online. 70% of online is WordPress. Yeah. So that's why we did this. We built this MarketPlan.io site with WordPress. And trust me, we have our own page builder. We have our own page building software, but we use that for converting people. But right now I can go in here and I can view my page inside of the page sequence. I can view this page. I can see here what I need to do. I need to build the survey. I need to do all this. And I can view the page inside here. Then I can edit the page. I can grab my, like if I go into my WordPress right here, and if I go into my admin and I sign in, oh, I guess that's not it. Come on. Oh, let me see. Maybe this one. Anyway, if I go there, let's just say, for instance, this was the URL for that particular page. It actually ended up looking something like this. Some of you that have Brizzy already know.
It just says question mark. There we go, Brizzy edit, right? Obviously not going to probably show up. It's probably going to look weird because it's trying to go into the editor, but nonetheless, I can come in here into my editor, and if I'm logged in, which if I could actually remember my login for this particular page, that's Tyler actually built this. I was just given access for a few hours to do graphics. But here I'd be able to edit my page, and here I'd be able to view my page. And so whenever I'm editing, I go here to edit, and I go here to view it. And then I can say, okay, here's my notes. Here's the copy I want to write. So I want to write the copy. Here's my headline. And, be able to write that out and say, here's my headline. What is my headline? Boom, boom, boom. I could just come into the page and start copy the headline and paste it right here in the builder. While I'm here, I can hit save, I can hit done. And now I know how much I'm done with this particular quiz. Now, again, it's a really, really silly example to use MarketPlan.io as the quiz, but you get my idea. You get my concept about how I'm building this whole thing out. And I'm using the tools I already have, using the free things that I already have, using the lifetime deals I already have, using different lifetime deals that have come across. And listen, like sometimes you're just going to have to have a software. Like we used Calendly for a long time before Cogsworth came out. Calendly was $10 a month. Mm-hmm. And we thought it was worth it because we didn't want to stop building the funnel just because we didn't have an LTD. If you have that mentality, you'll never be in business. If you have that mentality, I'm going to repeat that. If you have that mentality, you will never be in business. You've got to start somewhere. You've got to start with something that's usable, something that's actually duplicatable, something that can actually be leveraged in your business every single day. And so I want to encourage every single person on this webinar to take risks, don't just take the risks that you don't feel like are going to convert. Take risks that will convert. Take risks that will end up leading to dollars, because you've actually got a well-executed plan. You know that if you ran amount of traffic, and maybe you don't have to start out with 4,000 visitors. Maybe you could just say, listen, I'm going to run 500 people to this page. And I'm only going to spend, probably like $50 on this, to see if I actually get anything resonating. And maybe I'm going to only run $200 to this. And then, start seeing that like, oh, wow, I make a grand there. If I get 500 people to purchase, I make $1,000. Like maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe that's the way to get more revenue out of it. So that's why I would really suggest like that you go through, play with these numbers and get the ability for you to understand like, man, if I could get a high opt-in rate like this, or maybe I don't have that. Maybe I have 40%. What does that mean? That means I only get 200 leads and okay, like maybe you're trying to be as realistic with yourself as possible. Like maybe you only get 30% of them to do that. So so it's still not looking bad. I'm still making $1,000, Aaron. I've made $1,000 of being able to spend $300, $400. That's really good ROI. My total revenue, I've been able to make $1,000 off of this, for 500 people. This is the kind of stuff that you need to be able to run short spurts to see if the idea actually works. You might do this and it not work. Are you going to give up then? No, you're going to do something else, but you're going to put a minimum viable. You're going to use your tools. You're going to put your tools together, build something quickly. I would not suggest building an 18-month, sequence in Customerly before you have something working. Build 5 emails and see if 5 emails work. Then build two different chatbot sequences on these pages. Build one for this as well, the free shipping one. Hey, and maybe this one only comes up 30 seconds if there's no activity.
Don't be afraid to fail. The only way that you'll know something is successful is if you fail. What Correct. You need to do is, take those failures and learn from them.
That's it. And that's the reason why we suggest, guys, that you start with those 4 phases, right? It's the planning, then it's the execution where you're going to use WordPress and Customerly and Cogsworth and SendPilot and Affinity Photo and Let Convert and SendPilot and, Customerly and, any of these other ones, Brizzy and all this stuff. Then you're going to get to the projection mode, which is where you're going to start projecting what is it that I'm going to make. And you don't have to do this with MarketPlan.io. You could do this on paper. You could say, I'm going to sell the product for this much money. I'm going to sell this many units. What is that? You could just do it with a calculator. It's really easy to just do this with a calculator and come down to your numbers and then just do some math. The math is how many people did I come? How much did I spend on ads? I have a budget of $600 on ads. Okay, from that budget of $600 in ads, how much visitors can I get? What do I think I can get in regards to visitors? From that visitor amount, how many people do I think I can get to give me their email address? From there, I can remarket to those people as many times as I want, because those are now their leads. I can remarket to them. I could put them in multiple different sequences, 4 different products even at the same time. Like we had multiple clients with ConversionFly. We ran them the convert pages sequence. And we had a lot of buyers. We had about 50, 60, 70 customers come from our list, and we haven't even run all of them so far. So listen, I mean, it's free marketing once you get them here. It's free marketing once you get them here. And like I said, with this customerly deal, it's insane. It's insane because it's like 10,000 contacts.
People don't even understand how powerful customerly really is. I mean, if you use intercom, know.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, we don't want to wait until that deal is over and then say I should have got customerly, because honestly, even if you spend $150 and you only ever used it once in your business, like if you stacked so that you could have all 3 different versions of that, like what is it? Is it 3 modules?
3 apps. Yeah.
The 3 modules there, they're 49 a piece, right?
69
a piece. Okay, so let's say you spend somewhere upwards of $170, $180 on all of these pieces. Listen, like if you're able to actually provide one of these funnels to be like even remotely successful, you saw right here that if we just had a 40% opt-in rate and 30% and 40% conversion on these pieces with a 30% buy rate of $9, we've been able to generate $1,000. Like you just paid for customerly right there. You just paid for that tool. You just paid for Cogsworth, and you just paid for Let Convert, and you just paid for Brizzy and SendPilot.
And SendPilot, that's an extremely powerful tool. I mean, you realize how much traffic you can pull when you're sending out evergreen content to your social media channels? It's like huge.
It's unreal. It's unreal. And like I said, I mean, you can always be looking at all these different things and saying, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. Honestly, to run a web class is like running a webinar. I showed you guys already on conversionfly.com the web class that we're converting with. It is the highest lead converting tool for ConversionFly to date, right? The reason why is because it's an exit pop. And you can do that with simple tools. Like there's a lifetime deal for different pop-up tools out there. Or you could literally just get a WordPress pop-up that happens on exit intent and literally just convert them on a web class. That web class could be created with like a simple WordPress plugin that's free. Like stop limiting yourself to, oh, I don't have that. Oh, I don't have that. Oh, I don't have that yet. I don't have that. Like, let's just do something. Just put something out. See if you get any bites. Because what if it doesn't work? What if your big idea doesn't work? Let's talk about that for a second. If your big idea doesn't work, what are you going to do?
Well, I love Aaliyah's comment in here. She says, fail forward. Exactly.
That's it. Exactly. That's it. Well, the question of you being a great entrepreneur is not whether you're going to be a failure or not. It's whether you're going to get up or not.
Yeah.
Right? There's a Bible verse that I like. It talks about a righteous man. It says, though a righteous man falls 7 times, yet will he rise up again. And what that means is like, listen, you might fail once or twice, 3 times, 4 times. And what the number 7 biblically means is the perfect amount of times. You might fail perfectly, but get up. That's the difference, like between a righteous man and an unrighteous man. Is a righteous man says, I made mistakes. And then unrighteous people, what they do is they just keep making those mistakes and they say, this is who I am. But what righteous people do is they say, like, that is who I was, but that's not who I will be. And like, we can apply that to business too. Because the reality is like, that's who I was. I was a failure at business, but I will succeed. And I won't make those same mistakes again. I will succeed. And you know what the difference between me and a failure is? I'm getting up.
Warning. Getting up. Yeah. That's
it. I'm getting up. I'm getting up in the morning and I'm not going to stop until I convert online. And when you make that decision, we make that choice, it's
so empowering. It's extremely empowering.
Yeah. It's just basically saying, I'm not taking no as an answer. Like I'm never going to take no as an answer. I'm going to build this stuff. And yeah, I'm going to leverage the tools that I have. But honestly, think outside the box. Like I just told you, you don't need to have Typeform to run a quiz. You know, either they gave you their email address or they didn't. Like, put them in a bucket, ask them a couple questions and then ask them to opt in, like quiz them and then give them the form.
Retarget. Yeah.
Maybe some of them won't make it through. 40% of them are making it through. Fine. Guess what? You now know how many of them haven't got a website, how many of them do have a website, how many of them, and you can just send different messages to them with Customerly. That's the point, is stop trying to wait for the perfect storm to start actually making it rain.
It'll never come. It will never come.
You've got to start with something small. You've got to start with something that's going to mean something for your business. And this is why I believe you should really, really start with the planning process. And I'm not saying that because I'm the CEO for MarketPlan. I'm saying that grab a pen and paper, start now planning out what it is you're going to do and what tools you're going to leverage to do it. And you see here, every single asset that we're leveraging right now, except for we'd be using convert pages for the offer here, is an absolutely lifetime deal. Like, you could possibly get this if you were to go with just the base layer levels. It's $170 for Customerly. We've got Let Convert for, is that still available, Aaron?
No, unfortunately, it just ended.
Okay, but who knows? Maybe Judith can talk to Vupal about bringing it back sometime. Who knows, right? You got Customerly here. You've got WordPress or Brizy here. You might even find a free theme builder that you like better than Brizy, or maybe Divi's. Divi's got a lifetime agency version. I think it's an agency version. Mm-hmm. Then you've got Affinity Photo. Then you've got Usign or Canva. You're using Canva for free. You're leveraging SendPilot. You spent what $500-600 now. Okay, now it's time for you to spend $500 or $600. After you can actually take out an ad element here. And this is actually hilarious. Oob showed me this. It was amazing. I was like, Oob, you're a genius.
Oob is a genius. He actually asked if you can keep it, if you can save this canvas.
Oh yeah, I'll shoot a PDF in the PitchGround thing. That'll be awesome. What I can do here is I can just grab this and just put like dollars. This is my expenses, and they're very red because I don't like expenses. Okay. But I could legitimately just take my expenses and just start putting my expenses in here. So I could just say, okay, I've got okay, maybe I won't do that one. I'll just do.
Oh, that's bright red. You really don't like expenses.
Oh, no, I don't. Neither do lifetime deal people, right? We don't like expenses. So let's say this is just SendPilot. This is MarketPlan IO. Let's say, I keep dragging me. I always just drag the image because we do a lot of image ads. This is MPIO, right? Okay. This is Customerly, right? Okay. There we go. So I'm going to spend, let's just put a budget URL in this. We're going to spend $170 on this. Say 179 on that. I don't know what the exact price is, but maybe you know what the exact price when they end up at. And then maybe I stacked two deals, let's say with SendPilot. Was SendPilot 49?
Yeah.
So 49. So $98 here.
98.
And then with MarketPlan IO, let's say for instance I'm doing the 95 for my first year. That's what the deal is right now. If you were to go on there, you would see that it's $95 per year, and you get basically what used to be the best plan on the lifetime deal. So
Customerly would be 207 if you get the full bundle, and so 207. Then SendPilot.
And you can see here I've just spent $400. Okay, on that. If I got Cogsworth, let's say I got Cogsworth, right?
And Let Convert.
Yeah, let's say I'm starting out, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with the spendage of this. But let's say the budget for this guy is Cogsworth was 49. That's what I'm gonna use. Cogsworth for 49, so it's $449, and bring my other expense here. Ooh, this was a great suggestion. Can I just say, what a great suggestion, man. Thank you. This like being able to account for expenses in here is such a huge deal. Well, I just type in here at the top expenses. And this was Let Convert. What was that? $49, Aaron?
Will convert? Yeah.
49. Okay, so there we go. So hold on, I got the Zoom thing in the way. Let me click done. Okay, cool. So now I can see I got 490. So $500, right, is my expenses. I can come back here. I'm still going to net $612. And guess what? The next time I run this funnel, like I've paid for a lifetime deal. I've paid for, or I'm paying an annual. This is not going to, like, I'm going to get more revenue out of these tools. So that's why I would purchase them, because I've run the logistics. I've run the logistics and I've seen what I've been able to do. And, I've been able to leverage all of these pieces. And I think that's the difference maker, guys, is being able to say, okay, instead of me wasting my money on all this stuff just to say I've got it for a rainy day, like, why don't I make it rain today? I like that saying.
I love that saying.
Just come out right now. Instead of saying how I'm going to save all these tools for a rainy day, how could I make it rain today?
Be the rainmaker today.
Yeah, exactly. Make it rain. You can make it rain today.
Me and Ty are challenging every single person that's watching this to be the rainmaker. I want to see I challenge everybody. I want to see some funnels made and shared of how you're utilizing your lifetime deals. That's my personal challenge.
I'm serious. I'm actually going to share this in the MarketPlan group, because people are going to love just being able to craft and put together these different pieces. It's such a huge deal. I'm really excited for what people are going to be able to do once they actually put this stuff together. And so, I think the just to kind of close the webinar, because I know we're heading on an hour and so here. I think the most important thing, Aaron, what would your closing remarks be in regards to how to leverage lifetime deals? Start
using them. That's the number one thing, and probably the hardest thing out of everything. If you haven't got MarketPlan yet, definitely get it. If you're on the fence about it, you guys still offer the free deal, right? Do you have a free?
Yeah, we have a free plan. We have a free plan. You guys can go to MarketPlan.io, grab your free account. You have 5 free plans with us to get started.
Perfect place to get started right there. Start planning everything out, start implementing them. But once you see everything visually, you're going to start realizing, oh, I can do this. But the main thing is, start. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till Monday, Tuesday, when, those days rarely ever come along. Start.
Yeah.
Something.
And, honestly, what people pay money for, this is my closing remark. People pay money for relationships. People pay money for solutions. Okay. They don't pay money for tech or how cool your marketing looks or any of those things. They pay money for expertise, solution, services, things that solve problems for them, value that's added to them, relationships that help them get to their next level and reach their dreams. That's what people pay money for. So if you are even able to leverage 5, like we showed you today, how we could leverage 5 lifetime deals, just 5. MarketPlan.io for planning, Customerly for engagement, Let Convert for social proofing, SendPilot for social media continuous content structure. I guess we had Brizzy in there, but as well as what was the last one?
Cogsworth,
right? Mm-hmm. Being able to leverage these lifetime deals together and just say, like, listen, I'm not going to take no as an answer. I'm going to make these tools work together. Listen, even if you had to at some point pay a developer $50 to put like 2 pieces together, it's worth you doing, because you'll be able to come around the other side and say, I've actually created a relationship today. I've actually been able to convert someone online today. That's what's the most important piece of the puzzle. You have to start to get to the place where you start doing it because you're interested in the greater part. Someone said to me once, they said, Ty, the best place to get in your business is where you start working on your business and not in your business. Mm-hmm. And I say that because these tools help you start working on your business, like on the relationships, giving that customer a call, saying hi to them, laughing with them, being with them, having fun. You just didn't start a business so that you could be sitting there with all these tools going, what do I do? What do I do? You didn't start a business for that. You started a business to make money and to enjoy your life, to have freedom to stay home, to have freedom to go out and run your own schedule. That's why you started a business. So how do you get there And the answer is, how do you get there with a minimal amount of tools? Now, I always say to Tyler, when Tyler says to me, like, we're going to have to do this, we're going to have to do that, I say to him, well, we could do that, or we could just do something super simple and see if it actually works. And then we normally do that. And normally we end up just finding out that we didn't need as much as we thought we did to start out. We just needed to put something up. We just needed to do something and just do something minimal. And my question, my challenge to you today, just like what Aaron said, is start because it's the right thing to do. And it would be, you'd be doing yourself a service after all of the lifetime deals you bought. Just start. So Aaron, thanks so much. Thanks for joining episode 9 of PitchGround. We are so excited to see how you'll be able to leverage it. I don't know, Aaron, are there any more questions that we could take before we close today?
Let's see here. Let's just go through real fast. So Aaliyah, I love her comment. She's got hashtag be the Rainmaker challenge. I love that. I love that, Aaliyah.
That's awesome.
Let's see here. Awesome. Steven says, what's nice here is you can start small, throw a few bucks in at first. Let's see. Throw a few bucks at the first funnels to get a feel for top-down planning. Trial and error works once in a while.
That's it.
It's like winning the lottery. But ready, aim, shoot always beats ready, shoot, and then aim. Agree. 100%. 100%.
That's awesome. That's great. And that's where a lot of people waste their money, right? Is before the planning. They don't plan it out. And they're going to just go and waste their money on Facebook, you know. Anything else? I'm just reading through here. I'm trying to get caught up here. No worries.
Let's see. Okay, here's one from Melissa. I love Ty's idea of the minimum viable funnel. Customers get scared with a crazy busy funnel. Agree, Melissa.
That's it.
We can't get them started with a MVF to get them hooked on the process. And then we can get them more complicated.
That's it. Yeah, and we've been sharing about that more in the MarketPlan IO group. If many of you guys want to, jump on over there, Chris and I have been running some weekly Facebook lives there where we kind of talk about that and what it means to build an MVF and what we need to put in place. What are the critical pieces that we need to put in place? Because we know a lot of people are just getting started, and we're excited to see everything move forward. Guys, thanks again for joining this webinar. We're excited. Leave some more comments. We're going to go ahead. Aaron and I will go ahead and answer those comments now. We're looking forward to next week's webinar. Be on the lookout. Next week, Friday, we're coming back with another webinar. We're excited for where we're headed with PitchGround. We're excited that you have chosen to become a part of this community. Share everything with us, from your failures to your greatest successes. Let us know where you are. Let us know who you are. We're excited to be a part of what you're doing and become a part of what and allow this founder first movement to be able to build really quality solutions around you. Head over to PitchGround right now. See if there's anything that you can build your plan with. Grab a free MarketPlan IO account. See what you need. Go ahead and purchase some of the things that we've got going from PitchGround. I know they're not going to last forever and that they're very critical to building funnels like we just built today. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon, and have a great one.
Love everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you.